Christmas. Christmas. C is for Christ. H is for humble. R is for righteousness. I is I will follow. S is for Savior. T is for time spent. M, magnify the Lord. A is for amazing grace. S is for seasoned greetings. Charles and Grace Kennedy.
I'm wishing on a star and trying to hurry, that even though it's far, he'll find me Christmas. I guess on Santa's big because he never comes around. I think of him, Christmas comes down. The best time of the year, when everyone comes home with all this Christmas cheer, it's hard to be alone. Putting up the Christmas tree to come around. It's so much fun when Christmas comes to town. Presents for the children, wrapped in red and green. All the things I've heard about, never really seen. No one will be sleeping on the night of Christmas Eve, hoping Santa's on his way. When Santa's sleigh bells ring, I listen all around. The harp angels sing, I never hear a sound. And all the dreams of children once lost will now be found. That's all I want when Christmas comes to town. Happy holidays, Happy New Year.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our Father, brothers all are we. Let me walk with my brother in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be my moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
There's a song in the air, there's a star in the sky, there's a mother's deep prayer, and the babies will cry, and the star rings its fire while the beautiful sing, for the manger of Bethlehem cradles the King. There's a tumult of joy for the wonderful birth, for the virgin's sweet boy is the Lord of the earth. For the star rings its fire while the beautiful sing, for the manger of Bethlehem cradles the King. Merry Christmas.
Senior night before Christmas. 'Twas the night before Christmas at Rockaway Rest, and all of our seniors were looking their best. Our glasses, how sparkly, our wrinkles, how merry. Our punch bowl was filled with prune juice and sherry. A bed sock was taped to each walker in hope that Santa would bring us soft candy and soap. We sure were lucky to be there with our friends, secure in this residence and in our depends. Our grandkids had sent us some Christmassy crafts like angels in snowsuits and penguins on rafts. The dental assistant had borrowed our teeth, and from them she crafted a holiday wreath. The bedpan so shiny all stood in a row, reflecting our candles' magnificent glow. Our supper so festive, the joy wouldn't stop, was creamy warm oatmeal with sprinkles on top. Our salad was Jell-O so jiggly and great, then puree of fruitcake was spooned on each plate. The social director then had us play games like, where are you living and what is your name? Our grandfather Looper was feeling his oats, proclaiming that reindeer were nothing but goats. Our resident Wander was kept in her chair in hopes that at bedtime she still would be there. Security lights on the new fallen snow made outdoors seem noon to the old folks below. Then out on the porch there arose quite a clatter, but we are so deaf that it just didn't matter. A strange little fellow flew in through the door, then tripped on the sill and fell flat on the floor. 'Twas just our director all togged out in red. He jiggled and chuckled and patted each head. We knew from the way he had strutted and jived, our social security checks had arrived. We sang, how we sang in our monotonous croak, till the clock tinkled out its soft 8 p.m. stroke. And soon as we were snuggling deep in our beds, nurses came by with our nighttime meds. And so ends our Christmas at Rockaway Rest. We sure had a blast. We gave it our best. Merry Christmas.
Hi, I am going to recite the 12 jokes of Christmas. Number 1, what's the most popular Christmas carol in the desert? Oh, camel, ye faithful. Number 2, what do you call a bunch of chess players bragging about their games in a hotel lobby? Chestnuts boasting in an open foyer. Number 3, what do you get if you eat Christmas decorations? Tonsillitis. Number 4, what is Santa's primary language? North Polish. Number 5, what would you call an elf who has just won the lottery? Wealthy. Number 6, what do snowmen do on weekends? They chill out. Number 7, Mo asked 6-year-old Joe what he was going to give his little brother for Christmas. Joe says, I haven't decided yet. Mo said, well, what did you give him for Christmas last year? And Joe said, the measles. Number 8, what kind of motorcycle does Santa ride? A Harley Davidson. Number 9, when asked about his job, Frosty always says, there's no business like snow business. Number 10, what does a gingerbread man use to make his bed? Cookie sheets. Number 11, what do you get from a cow at the North Pole? Ice cream. Number 12, my husband bought me a pressure cooker for Christmas. Now we're eating off the ceiling. I'm not saying I'm a bad cook, but my family prays after we eat. Merry Christmas, and may God bless you richly.
Lo, how a rose is growing, a bloom of finest grace. The prophets had foretold it, a branch of Jesse's race would bear one perfect flower here in the cold of winter and darkest midnight hour. The rose of which I'm singing Isaiah had foretold. He came to us through Mary, who sheltered him from cold. Through God's eternal will, this child to us was given. At midnight calm and still, the shepherds heard the story. The angels sang that night, how Christ was born of Mary. He was the Son of Light. To Bethlehem they ran, to find him in the manger. As angel heralds sang, this flower so small and tender, with fragrance fills the air. His brightness ends the darkness that kept the earth in fear. True God and yet true man, he came to save his people from earth's dark night of sin.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight! Oh! Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Ha ha ha! Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight! Oh! Merry Christmas!
My Christmas Wish for You
by Kristen M. Sicardi.
My Christmas wish for you, my friend, is not a simple one, for I wish you hope and joy and peace, days filled with warmth and sun.
I wish you love and friendship too throughout the coming year, lots of laughter and happiness to fill your world with cheer.
May you count your blessings one by one, and when totaled by the lot, may you find all you've been given to be more than you sought.
May your journeys be short, your burdens light, may your spirit never grow old, may your clouds have silver linings, and your rainbows pots of gold.
I wish this all and so much more. May all your dreams come true. May you have a Merry Christmas, friend, and a Happy New Year too.
I'm going to sing the 12 Days of Christmas. On the first day of Christmas, my true love said to me, a poor penguin in a pear tree. On the second day of Christmas, my true love said to me, 2 turtle doves and a penguin in a pear tree. On the third day of Christmas, my true love said to me, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a penguin in a pear tree. On the fourth day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 4 calling birds. Hi birds, can I call you back? I'm right in the middle of something. 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a penguin in a pear tree. On the 5th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a penguin in a pear tree. On the 6th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a penguin in a pear tree. On the 7th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a penguin in a pear tree. On the 8th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a penguin in a pear tree. On the 9th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a penguin in a pear tree. On the 10th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me, this is my pet frog, his name is Lords, 10 lords a-leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a penguin in a pear tree. On the 11th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 11 pipers piping, 10 lords a-leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a penguin in a pear tree. On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 12 drummers drumming, 11 pipers piping, 10 lords a-leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a penguin in a pear tree. Merry Christmas, everybody!
Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day walk on water? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would save our sons and daughters? Did you know that your baby boy has come to make you new? This child that you delivered will soon deliver you. Mary, did you know that your baby boy will give sight to the blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would calm a storm with his hand? Did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels trod? And when you kiss your baby, you kiss the face of God. Mary, did you know? The blind will see, the deaf will hear, the dead will live again. The lame will leap, the dumb will speak, the presence of the Lamb. Mary, did you know that your baby boy is Lord of all creation? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will one day rule the nations? Did you know that your baby boy was heaven's perfect lamb? And the sleeping child you're holding is the great I am.
tree at the Christmas party hop. Mistletoe hung where you can see every couple tries to stop. Rocking around the Christmas tree, let the Christmas spirit ring. Later we'll have some pumpkin pie and we'll do some caroling. You will get a sentimental feeling when you hear voices singing, let's be jolly. Deck the halls with bells of holly. Rocking around the Christmas tree, have a happy holiday. Everyone dancing merrily in the new old-fashioned way. Will get a sentimental feeling when you hear voices singing, let's be jolly. Deck the halls with bells of holly. Rocking around the Christmas tree, have a happy holiday. Everyone dancing merrily in the new old-fashioned way. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss. Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. But the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. The Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be, perhaps, that his shoes were too tight. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve, hating the Whos, staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm, lighted windows below in their town, for he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now hanging a mistletoe wreath. And they're hanging their stockings, he snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas. It's practically here. Then he growled, with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming, I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming. For tomorrow, he knew, all the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early. They'd rush for their toys. And then, oh the noise. Oh the noise, 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 noise. That's one thing he hated. The noise, 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 noise. And then the Whos, young and old, would sit down to a feast. They'd feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, 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 feast. They would feast on Who pudding and rare Who roast beast, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. And then they'd do something he liked least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together, with Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and the Whos would start singing. And they'd sing, and they'd sing, and they'd sing, 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 sing. And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought, I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years I've put up with it now. I must stop this Christmas from coming. But how? And then he got an idea. An awful idea. the Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. I know just what I'll do, the Grinch laughed in his throat, and he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat. And he chuckled and clucked, "What a great Grinchy trick! With this coat and this hat, I look just like Saint Nick. All I need is a reindeer." And the Grinch looked around. But since reindeer are scarce, there were none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? No, the Grinch simply said, "If I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead." So he called his dog Max. Then he took some red thread, and he tied a big horn on the top of his head. Then he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks on a ramshackle sleigh, and he hitched up old Max. Then the Grinch said, "Giddy up!" And the sleigh started down toward the homes where the Who's lay a snooze in their town. All their windows were dark, quiet snow filled the air. All the Who's were all dreaming sweet dreams without care. When he came down to the first little house on the square, "This is stop number 1, the old Grinchy Claus hissed. And he climbed to the roof, empty bags in his fist. Then he slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch. But if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once, for a moment or two. Then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue, where the little Who stockings all hung in a row. "These stockings," he grinned, "are the first things to go." Then he slithered and slunk, with a smile most unpleasant, around the whole room, and he took every present. Pop guns and bicycles, roller skates and drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorns and plums. And he stuffed them in bags. Then the Grinch very nimbly stuffed all the bags up, one by one, up the chimney. Then he slunk to the icebox. He took the Who's feast. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast beast. He cleaned out the icebox as quick as a flash. Why, that Grinch even took their last can of Who hash. Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee. "And now," grinned the Grinch, "I'll stuff up the tree." And the Grinch grabbed the tree, and he started to shove, when he heard a small sound like the coo of a dove. He turned around fast, and he saw a small Who, little Cindy Lou who was not more than 2. The Grinch had been caught by this tiny Who daughter, who got out of bed for a cup of cold water. She stared at the Grinch and said, "Santa Claus, why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why?" But you know that old Grinch was so smart and so slick. He thought up a lie, and he thought it up quick. "Why, my sweet little tot," the fake Santa Claus lied, "there's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there, then I'll bring it back here." And his fib fooled the child. Then he patted her head, and he got her a drink, and he sent her to bed. And when Cindy Lou Who went to bed with her cup, he went to the chimney and stuffed the tree up. And the last thing he took was a log for their fire. Then he went up the chimney, himself, the old liar. On their walls he left nothing but hooks and some wire. And the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. Then he did the same thing to the other Who's houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the other Who's mouses. It was 1/4 past dawn, and the Who's still abed, All the Who's still a snooze when he packed up his sled. Packed it up with their presents, the ribbons, the wrappings, the tags and the tinsel, the trimmings, the trappings. 3,000 feet up to the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load, to the tip-top to dump it. Pooh-pooh to the Who's, he was grinchiously humming. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up, I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open a minute or two. Then the Who's down in Whoville will all cry, boo-hoo. That's a noise, grinned the Grinch, that I simply must hear. So he paused, and the Grinch put his hand to his ear. And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low. Then it started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so. But it was merry, very. He stared down at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes. Then he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or other, it came just the same. And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could this be so? Came without ribbons. Came without tags. Came without packages, boxes, or bags. And he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. And what happened then? Well, in Whoville they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light. And he brought back the toys and the food for the feast. And he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beast. The end.
Merry Christmas from our family to yours.
a child and yet a king, born to reign in us forever. Now thy